today I'll be beginning with the development of head and neck. Head and neck is something which you are doing in the gross anatomy also. So that means you will be able to link with the things which you are doing in gross anatomy. How the development of the head and neck starts. We have the three germ layers, the ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. So from here you can see सेकेंड वीक में ये वाला डायग्राम बहुत सारे लोगों को अब याद हो गया होगा. देयर आर टू कैविटीज. द ब्लू कलर्ड स्ट्रक्चर इज द न्यूरल ट्यूब, द एक्टोडर्म और द न्यूरो एक्टोडर्म. देन वी हैव द एंडोडर्म. येलो कलर्ड यहाँ पे बहुत थिन दिख रहा है पर वो एंडोडर्म है. यहाँ पे मीजोडर्म जो है वो नहीं दिख रहा है, बट you can make out the two cavities, the amniotic cavity and the yolk sac cavity. Then oropharyngeal membrane is where the ectoderm and the endoderm they are approximating. And then इसमें क्या दिख रहा है? During the third week and the fourth week, that means 3 weeks हो चुके हैं और 4th वीक चल रहा है. 3 वीक्स हो चुके हैं मतलब 21 डेज आफ्टर फर्टिलाइजेशन वो कंप्लीट हो गया है. उसके बाद देयर अकर्स 4 folds in the embryo. If you want to write down how many foldings are there in the embryo, there are 4 foldings in the embryo. One is the head fold, one is the tail fold, and then there are 2 lateral folds. And they occur during which week? During 3rd week and 4th week. तो हेड और टेल फोल्ड अगर होगा तो यहाँ पे देखो ये जो बिल्कुल स्ट्रेट दिख रहा था यहाँ हेड एंड, वो ये कर्व हो गया है, तो ये हेड फोल्ड हो गया. ऐसे ही सिमिलरली यू कैन मेक आउट इन द रीजन ऑफ इन द कॉर्डल रीजन ऑल्सो देयर इज अ टेल फोल्ड. तो हेड फोल्ड और टेल फोल्ड तो यू कैन इजीली मेक आउट. The lateral folds occur in a plane perpendicular to the head fold and tail fold. तो head fold और tail fold तो एक ही plane में हो जाएंगे, ठीक है. head bend हो गया, head fold हो गया, tail fold, tail ऐसे bend हो गई, tail fold हो गया. lateral folding कहाँ होती है? It is in the region of, we can say, जैसे anterior abdominal wall है या ventral एक plate है, वो सामने की तरफ से ऐसे दोनों साइड से आके फोल्ड हो गई. सो इट अकर्स इन अ प्लेन डिफरेंट टू दी हेड फोल्ड एंड टेल फोल्ड. इसके 2 लेटरल फोल्डिंग्स हुई. यहाँ पे देख सकते हो जो यॉर्क सैक कैविटी इतनी बड़ी थी, नाउ आफ्टर लेटरल फोल्डिंग्स यू कैन मेक आउट ओनली सम पोर्शन ऑफ द यॉर्क सैक कैविटी इज टेकन इनसाइड द बॉडी ऑफ द एम्ब्रियो एंड रेस्ट ऑफ द यॉर्क सैक इट विल, आई वुड से इट विल पिंच्ड आउट. ठीक है. तो बहुत कम पार्ट यॉर्क सैक कैविटी का वो एम्ब्रियो के अंदर चला गया और बहुत ज्यादा पार्ट जो है वो बाहर की तरफ आ गया आफ्टर द 2 lateral folds. And the embryo, the body of the embryo, or we would say the endoderm, it will be connected to this yolk sac with the help of a duct. That duct is known as विटेलाइन डक्ट और विटेलो-इंटेस्टिनल डक्ट. क्योंकि कहीं जाके यहाँ पे फिर इंटेस्टीन बन जाएगा तो एक विटेलो-इंटेस्टिनल डक्ट बन जाएगी. ठीक है. कितने फोल्डिंग्स हुए एम्ब्रियो में? 4 फोल्ड, हेड फोल्ड, टेल फोल्ड एंड 2 लैटरल फोल्ड. बाकी तुम्हें याद है ये न्यूरल ट्यूब है या न्यूरो एक्टोडर्म है, ये क्या बनाएगा बेटा? नर्वस सिस्टम. एंड नर्वस सिस्टम कंसिस्ट ऑफ ब्रेन एंड स्पाइनल कॉर्ड. तो यहाँ पे ये ब्लू वाला जो स्ट्रक्चर है ये तो पूरा ब्रेन एंड स्पाइनल कॉर्ड फॉर्म कर देगा. एंडोडर्म क्या बना देगा बेटा? ये जो एंडोडर्म वाली ट्यूब है ये क्या बनाएगी? The whole GIT. That means beginning from the region of the mouth till the anus. So that means what it will form? It will form mouth, the pharynx, esophagus, stomach, then intestine. ये सारे structures they will be formed by the endoderm. And in between the ectoderm and the endoderm, one more layer will come, that is the mesoderm. So this is like what is happening in the 3rd week and 4th week. अब हम बात करेंगे कि हाउ एंड फ्रॉम वेयर द स्ट्रक्चर्स प्रेजेंट इन द हेड एंड नेक दे डेवलप. So what all structures are present in the head and neck? What is there in the head and neck? ब्रेन, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड तो हमारी एक्टोडर्म ने बना दिया, वो तो ठीक है, ब्रेन है, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड है. उसके अलावा क्या है? ये सब फेस है, देयर इज फेस, देयर आर बोन्स इन द फेस, देयर इज स्कल वॉल्ट, सो द बोन्स दे हैव टू बी फॉर्म्ड. देन व्हाट इज देयर इन द नेक? नेक में क्या है? Blood, there are blood vessels, but blood vessels supply which structures? Blood vessels are everywhere. They are supplying which viscera are there in the neck? There are two tubes in the neck. Which are those? Trachea and esophagus. और क्या है neck में? कोई glands है? Thyroid gland. और क्या है? Larynx is there. Pharynx, larynx and the thyroid gland. So basically then we will see there are palatine tonsils also, palate will develop. So these all structures, they will be developing in the head and neck region, and you will see they will be actually they start developing around the region of the pharynx. So that is why we will be studying pharyngeal arches today. तो ये है एम्ब्रियो कब का, कौन से डे में? 25 days और 28 days. 25 days and 28 days है तो मतलब थर्ड वीक और फोर्थ वीक के बीच की हम बात कर रहे हैं. और इसमें क्या हो रहा है? फोल्डिंग्स आर अकरिंग. सो यू कैन मेक आउट कि पहले जो हमारा एम्ब्रियो था वो कैसा था? इट वॉज स्ट्रेट. So there was an anterior neuropore जहाँ पे न्यूरल ट्यूब क्लोज नहीं हुआ था, and then there was a posterior neuropore जो थोड़ा लेट क्लोज हो रहे थे. Then there will occur foldings in the embryos. This is the head fold, this is the tail fold. So head fold अगर ये ऐसा हुआ है, कहने का मतलब ये है कि पहले नेक जैसा रीजन जो था वो स्पेसिफाइड नहीं था. After the folding, the region of the neck, it becomes specified, and it is the region where the pharynx is going to develop. And then you can make out from the diagram certain thickenings are occurring there in the pharyngeal region. So you can pharynx is in connection of which system? Can anybody tell me pharynx is connected to which system? Pharynx is connected to respiratory system and the digestive system. It's a common passage for the food and air. You know there is oropharynx, nasopharynx and laryngopharynx. So pharynx per se, from the development point of view, we can look it at as a continuation of the digestive system. जो endodermal tube जो हमारा पूरा बन रहा है हेड एंड से लेके और टेल एंड तक, उसमें pharyngeal region में कुछ thickenings we can make out. These thickenings appear at 25 days, we would say between third week and fourth week. These thickenings are known as pharyngeal arches, and around these pharyngeal arches or from these pharyngeal arches, the whole head and neck system is going to develop because it will become the future neck. So how many pharyngeal arches appear in the craniocaudal direction in the neck region? Total 6 pharyngeal arches appear. Out of that, the 5th one disappear. So if somebody asks you how many pharyngeal arches appear? 6. How many pharyngeal arches are there? There are 6. The 5th one disappears very soon. So how many are left? 5. So 5th one disappears, so they are numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. The arch 5th, it either never forms or is short-lived, rudiment, and it regresses. So how many pair of pharyngeal arches? If they are pair, they are lying on the right side and on the left side of the pharynx. They are 6 in number. There are 6 pairs. The 5th one disappears. So how many remain? 5 pairs remain. यहाँ ये दिख रहे हैं in the pharyngeal region. This is the real time picture. So this is arch 1, 2, 3, 4 and the Sixth arch, so 6 pharyngeal arches, they are appearing in the pharyngeal region, the future pharyngeal region. And you can see, if we make a schematic diagram like this, so you can make out in each arch there is a nerve, there is an artery, there is muscular component also. और अभी हम पढ़ेंगे ये जो एंडोडर्म था, फैरिंक्स क्योंकि एंडोडर्म का कंटिन्यूएशन था, पर एक पूरी आर्च के अराउंड देयर विल बी मेसोडर्म ऑल्सो, देयर विल बी एक्टोडर्म ऑल्सो, बिकॉज फॉर द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ होल हेड एंड नेक all the germ layers, skin भी develop होना है, muscles भी develop होनी है, cartilage is going to develop, glands are going to develop. So all the three components, the ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm, they will be like bulging in 6 regions and the 5th one will disappear. So the 5 pair of arches consisting of all the components, they will be there. These pharyngeal arches, they are also known as branchial arches. Why branchial? The term branchial means gills. So in the fish embryo also, the gills develop in the region of pharynx. So these arches, they are meant for the absorption of oxygen. Water passes through the mouth of the fishes and then it is filtered through the neck region through their gills. So that is why these pharyngeal arches are also known as the branchial arches. So the schematic diagram, if we look at this diagram, this is the head fold, this is the tail fold, this is the vitellointestinal duct, future mouth, the mouth which was lying in the head region, ये fold होने के बाद में the mouth oropharyngeal membrane or the stomodium, it will be shifted somewhat downwards. इस माउथ या ओरोफेरेंजियल रीजन के मेम्ब्रेन के डिस्टली the pharyngeal arches, they start forming. So you can make out that these are the pharyngeal arches which are appearing in the region of the pharynx. So now this is again more schematically we are going कि कैसे 6 arches हैं पढ़ने के purpose से. This is the schematic diagram. So this is the buccopharyngeal membrane. Each pharyngeal arch per se consists of all the germ layers. It is lined by endoderm internally, ectoderm externally, and in between the ectoderm and endoderm, what lies is the mesoderm. So each pharyngeal arch, it consists of ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. All are represented by different colors. So now these are the thickenings which are appearing. Ab main thickening is in the region of the mesoderm. So your books write that mesodermal thickenings are known as pharyngeal bars. ठीक है? Mesodermal thickening, pharyngeal arch per se has got ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. Mesodermal thickening is known as pharyngeal bar, and these structures which are formed in between these bars, they are either named as endodermal pouches or ectodermal clefts. तो अंदर की तरफ से जहां 2 बार कनेक्टेड है, mesodermal बार कनेक्टेड है, they are lined by what? They are lined by endodermal pouches, and externally what is present is the ectodermal cleft. तो अगर 5 आर्चेज हैं तो टोटल कितने क्लेफ्ट्स बनेंगे? 4. और अगर 5 आर्चेज हैं तो कितने पाउचेस बनेंगे? 4. So again there will be derivatives of 4 endodermal pouches and there will be derivatives of the 4 ectodermal clefts, because we study the derivatives in terms of ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So 5 arches, 5 mesodermal things will be giving 5 groups of derivatives, and ectodermal derivatives will be grouped in the form of 4 things, and there will be 4 endodermal derivatives. So bars, clefts and pouches. This is only a picture or a diagram कि हाँ 3rd to 4th week में जो embryo है वो कैसा दिख रहा है. There is head fold, there is tail fold, there are two tubes. This is the neural tube which will form the brain and the spinal cord, and this is the endodermal tube. So endodermal tube, in the region of pharynx, you can see certain thickenings have started appearing. These are our pharyngeal arches which are responsible for the development of head and neck region. This is the real time picture. अंदर की तरफ से ऐसा खोल के देखा है, so you can make out the pharyngeal pouches, the pharyngeal clefts, and these are the mesodermal bars, or the pharyngeal arch. This whole thing is the pharyngeal arch. So pharyngeal apparatus का नाम भी देते हैं इसे. This can be called as an apparatus which is responsible for the development of face, neck, palate. तो इस pharyngeal apparatus में क्या है? There are pharyngeal arches or bars. There are pharyngeal pouches formed by endoderm. The pharyngeal clefts formed by the ectoderm, and then there is a pharyngeal membrane also. मेरे ख्याल से ये जो तीनों टर्म्स हैं वो तुम्हें क्लियर हैं. pharyngeal arches you have understood, pharyngeal pouch you know, pharyngeal cleft you know. The last term is pharyngeal membrane. So pharyngeal membrane is actually the region where the ectoderm and the endoderm, they are in contact. जो हमने पिछले वाले जैसे यहाँ है, if this is the region where the ectoderm and endoderm, they are in contact and no mesoderm is there, then that region is known as pharyngeal membrane. अगर यहाँ पे इस डायग्राम में दिख रहा है कि यहाँ इस बीच वाले रीजन में भी mesoderm दिख रहा है, पर होता नहीं है. यहाँ पे क्या है, दोनों ectoderm और endoderm फ्यूज हो गए हैं, तो इस रीजन को हम क्या बोलेंगे? This will be the pharyngeal membrane. So pharyngeal clefts, ectodermal, pharyngeal pouches, endodermal, and in between there are pharyngeal bars or the mesodermal bars. The area where the ectoderm and endoderm, they are more in contact, that region is known as pharyngeal membrane. So each branchial arch, if somebody says it consists of what? It consists of an outer covering of ectoderm, a central core of mesoderm, and an inner lining of endoderm. Out of the 6 arches, the 5th arch disappear early, the 5th one disappears. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6 के ही हम derivatives पढ़ेंगे. There is no derivative of the 5th arch. Then each bar or the mesodermal bar, the central region has got an ventral end and a dorsal end. एक पूरा आर्च जैसा बना है, तो सामने वाला या anterior end जो उसका होगा, that will be the ventral end, and the posterior end will be the dorsal end. And these arches are responsible for the development of face, neck, definitive mouth, pharynx and larynx. So these all structures, they will be derived from the pharyngeal arches. Thyroid gland, tongue and tonsil, they are also derived from the pharyngeal arches. Now each arch has got a muscular component, a cranial nerve and its own arterial component. अब इस चीज का क्या मतलब है? जितनी भी muscles first arch से derive हो रही हैं, they have got a common nerve supply. So because each arch has a single nerve, so that cranial nerve will supply all the structures which are derived from that arch. So then each arch has got an own arterial component, own nerve, and it has got a muscular component which will differentiate into different muscles. Then it has got ectoderm, endodermal pouches. The last one is the description of the mesoderm, कि यहाँ पे mesoderm कौन सा है. There were 3 groups of mesoderm: the paraaxial, intermediate and lateral plate mesoderm. So in the arch, both paraaxial and lateral plate mesoderm, they will contribute in the development of the muscles. Along with that, the neural crest cells, they will also migrate into the arch and they will form the cartilage for that arch. So the paraaxial and lateral plate mesoderm and also neural crest cells, they will contribute to the skeletal component and then to the musculature of the face and the neck region. इसमें कौन सा mesoderm नहीं है? Intermediate mesoderm. Because intermediate mesoderm, it forms which system? It forms the urogenital system. So urinary system and the reproductive system, they are formed by intermediate mesoderm. उन दोनों को छोड़ दें तो paraaxial mesoderm और जो cavities से related था lateral plate mesoderm, they are all contributing in the development of the muscles related to the face and the neck region. Now coming to the individual arches. So cartilage in the arches, they develop from the neural crest cells originating from midbrain and the hindbrain region. ये neural crest cells क्या होते हैं? कोई बताएगा? What are neural crest cells? From where they are derived? क्योंकि हर जगह तुम पढ़ोगे न्यूरल क्रेस्ट सेल्स, तो कहाँ, और ये माइग्रेटरी है, दे आर गोइंग टू डिफरेंट रीजन्स. सो न्यूरल crest cells, if you see, this was neural fold. अगर तुम्हें याद हो तो न्यूरल ट्यूब कैसे बना था? पहले क्या बने थे? There was neural fold. जितना एक्टोडर्म नोटोकॉर्ड के कांटेक्ट में आया था वो क्या बन गया था? न्यूरो एक्टोडर्म. और बाकी का जो एक्टोडर्म बच गया था वो क्या बनेगा? That will form the skin or the normal ectoderm. So the junction of the ectoderm and the neuroectoderm, this region actually, it gives rise to certain cells. Those cells are the neural crest cells. So what are neural crest cells? They are derived from the region where the junction of ectoderm and the neuroectoderm is there. सब पीछे वाला मतलब पूरा एम्ब्रियोलॉजी इज लाइक अ स्टोरी. इफ यू फॉरगेट दी मतलब पहले का पार्ट अगर भूल जाओगे तो यू वोंट बी एबल टू कोरिलेट. बट जस्ट रिमेंबर कि दे आर द न्यूरल क्रेस्ट सेल्स आर प्रेजेंट एट द जंक्शन ऑफ एक्टोडर्म एंड न्यूरोएक्टोडर्म. जब न्यूरल फोल्ड बन रहा है तो वहां से न्यूरल क्रेस्ट सेल्स डिराइव्ड है. नाउ कमिंग टू द फर्स्ट pharyngeal arch. Now what you have to remember is the derivatives of the first pharyngeal arch. The question is asked in this way. So the first pharyngeal arch is also known as mandibular arch. And what are its derivatives? You can see two processes are derived from the first pharyngeal arch. I am talking only about the mesodermal components. अभी हम किसकी बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, ना clefts की और ना pouches की. We are only talking about the mesodermal component. So first pharyngeal arch is also known as the mandibular arch, and it has got two processes. The cranial and the smaller one is the maxillary prominence, and the caudal and the larger one is known as the mandibular prominence. तुम ही मुझे बता सकते हो कि इस रीजन में अगर ये लोकेटेड है तो ये क्या बनाएंगे? मैक्सिला एंड मैंडिबुलर रीजन जो है दैट विल बी डेवलपिंग फ्रॉम दीज प्रोसेसेस. एग्जैक्टली क्या क्या डेवलप होता है दैट वी विल सी. इट हैज टू प्रोमिनेंसेस, द मैक्सिलरी प्रोसेस विच विल फॉर्म द अपर जॉ एंड द मैंडिबुलर प्रोसेस विच विल फॉर्म द लोअर जॉ. ये जो द कार्टिलेज ऑफ द मैक्सिलरी प्रोसेस इज नोन एज दिस वन. ये तुम्हें नहीं याद रखना है, तुम्हारी बुक में नहीं दिया हुआ है. The cartilage of the mandibular process is known as Meckel's cartilage. This everybody has to remember. The word M you have to remember for the first arch. First arch is mandibular arch. It has got two processes, the maxillary and mandibular, and the cartilage of the mandibular process is Meckel's cartilage. Around this Meckel's cartilage, the mandible will develop. So this is the picture. This is the maxillary prominence. This is the mandibular prominence. Then second arch, the Ricard's cartilage is there. This is also known as hyoid arch. Then third arch, fourth arch, and the sixth arch. So maxillary process will form what? These are the derivatives of the maxillary prominence. The maxilla, palate, zygomatic bone and squamous part of the temporal bone. क्या क्या बन रहा है maxillary prominence से? Maxilla, palate, zygomatic bone, squamous part of the temporal bone. How many parts of temporal bone are there? कौन कौन से हैं? Squamous, tympanic, mastoid, petrous part. There is one more part, that is the petrous part of the temporal bone. So they all are not developing. Which is developing? Squamous part of the temporal bone. So squamous part of temporal, the whole zygomatic, palate we will say कि palate बना ही maxilla और palatine bone से है. So that will be formed by that, and then there is maxilla will be formed by that. Then mandibular process has got a cartilage that is known as Meckel's cartilage. It forms what? A mandibular process से क्या क्या बन रहा है? दो ear ossicles बन रहे हैं, malleus, incus, a small bone called sphenoid located in the orbital wall. ये भूल भी जाओ तो तुम्हें क्या याद रखना है? Malleus and incus. स्टेपीज बच गया, वो किससे डेवलप होगा? सेकेंड आर्च से. तो दोनों ईयर ओसिकल्स अगर हम लैटरल टू मीडियल चलें तो MIS ही सीक्वेंस होता है. तो मेलियस इंकस कौन बना रहा है? मैंडिबुलर प्रोमिनेंस. देन इट ऑल्सो फॉर्म्स एंटीरियर लिगामेंट ऑफ द मेलियस, स्फीनोमैंडिबुलर लिगामेंट, एंड वेंट्रल पार्ट फॉर्म्स द बॉडी ऑफ द मैंडिबल. So mandible, the body of the mandible. तुम ये dorsal ventral part भले ही भूल जाओ, अगर याद रखना चाहते हो तो कैसे रखोगे? अगर posteriorly located है तो वो कौन सा part है? Dorsal part. Anteriorly located है, mandible is anteriorly located, so ventral part will form the body of the mandible. Dorsally, malleus incus dorsally है तो anterior ligament of malleus and sphenomandibular ligament, they will be formed by the dorsal part. But if you do not remember dorsal ventral, just make a list कि first arch के mesodermal component के क्या क्या derivatives हैं. Mandible you will easily remember, ligament of anterior ligament of malleus, sphenomandibular ligament, and then the malleus incus. These all are the derivatives of the mandibular process. Then second arch cartilage is known as Riecke's cartilage. इसको हमें याद रखना है S से. S से अगर याद रखोगे तो it will form the stapes styloid process of the temporal bone. So stapes and the styloid process, they are formed by the dorsal part. Then middle part forms the stylohyoid ligament, and ventral part forms the lesser horn and body of the hyoid bone. ये जो blue color का तुम लोग अगर इस डायग्राम को देखोगे तो you can make out कि styloid process से लेके hyoid bone के upper part तक जो arch है वो कौन सा है? Second arch. तो इसका dorsal part क्या बना रहा है? Stapes, styloid process. Then stylohyoid ligament is connecting the hyoid bone and the styloid process. So middle part is forming the stylohyoid ligament, and ventral part is forming the lesser horn and upper part of body of hyoid bone. So these are the derivatives of the second arch. Then third arch, it forms the lower portion of the hyoid bone. So greater cornu या greater horn of the hyoid bone and lower part of the body of hyoid bone is formed by the third arch. So hyoid bone कहाँ present होता है? In the midline of the neck at the level of C3 vertebra. So this hyoid bone is a smaller bone, but its upper part is formed by second arch and its lower part is formed by the third arch. तो अब इसके बाद जो structures होंगे, they will be distal to the hyoid bone. तो fourth और sixth arch क्या बनाएंगे? Fourth arch will form the cartilages of the larynx. Can anybody tell which cartilage of the larynx is missing in it? एक नहीं बनाता है, बाकी सारे cartilage बन रहे हैं. कौन सा missing है? हाँ? थायराइड, क्रिकॉइड, कॉर्निकुलेट, क्यूनिफॉर्म, एरिटेनॉइड सब किससे बन रहे हैं? फोर्थ आर्च से. कौन सा कार्टिलेज नहीं बन रहा है? larynx का? Epiglottis, because epiglottis has a different source. So all the cartilages of the larynx except the epiglottis, they are derived from the fourth arch. Then sixth arch will form, sorry, fourth and sixth arches, they combinedly form these cartilages, the thyroid, the cricoid, arytenoid, corniculate and cuneiform. So this is about the mesodermal components of the arches. अभी हम ectodermal और endodermal देखेंगे. These are some of the congenital anomalies related to the development of the pharyngeal arches. कई बार क्या होता है कि some of the remains of the pharyngeal arch cartilages, they appear on the side of the neck. So you can see this cartilage is appearing in the neck. Then sometimes in the kids or in adults, the branchial cyst, sinus or fistula, they remain, they are formed in some people, and where you are going to find this branchial cyst, sinus or fistula. देखो neck में midline swelling भी है, lateral swellings भी हैं. So how you can differentiate कि ये branchial arches की वजह से है या कहाँ है? So they will be located laterally but anterior to the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So if an cyst or cystic swelling is located laterally and anterior to the sternocleidomastoid muscle, you can think of the congenital thing. That means branchial cyst, sinus or a fistula. So cyst, you know that cyst is a complete swelling. Sinus क्या है? अगर वही swelling एक side open हो जाएगी, so that will form a branchial sinus. अगर वही thickening दोनों side connect करेगी, that means one portion will be opening externally on the skin and second is opening internally. Then a fistula will develop. लेकिन होना कहाँ चाहिए? Laterally or anterior to the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So anterior to the inferior third of the sternocleidomastoid, most often यहाँ पे location रहता है कि anterior to the inferior third of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So here you can see a branchial cyst. It can open internally in the region of the palatine tonsil or it can open externally. तो इंटरनल ओपनिंग भी हो सकती है, साइनस भी हो सकता है, फिस्टुला भी हो सकता है. तो ब्रैंकियल सिस्ट, ब्रैंकियल साइनस एंड ब्रैंकियल फिस्टुला, दे आर क्वाइट कॉमन एंड just a surgery is required to treat them. Then the pharyngeal muscles, because muscles are also derived from the mesodermal component. So muscles, so first arch मसल्स क्या है, ये तो तुम्हें लिखना ही है कि फर्स्ट आर्च से कौन कौन से मसल्स डिराइव्ड हैं. दे आर इन दी मैंडिबुलर रीजन. सो ऑल द मसल्स ऑफ द मैस्टिकेशन, दैट मीन्स टेम्पोरालिस, मेसेटर, मीडियल टेरिगॉइड एंड लेटरल टेरिगॉइड, दे आर डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम फर्स्ट आर्च. Then again M is the key, mylohyoid, anterior belly of digastric, the two tensor muscles, tensor villi palatini and the tensor tympani muscle. टेंसर वेलाई पैटनी कहाँ लोकेटेड होगी, कौन से रीजन में? टेंसर वेलाई पैलाटनी कहाँ लोकेटेड होगी? पैलेट में. इट मीन समवेयर इन द पैलेट. टेंसर टिम्पेनी इज लोकेटेड इन द ईयर, इन द टिम्पैनिक कैविटी. तभी हम देखेंगे इट इज द टेंसर ऑफ द टिम्पैनिक मेम्ब्रेन. सो टेंसर टिम्पेनी, टेंसर वेलाई पैलाटनी, द टू टेंसर. माइलोहायोइड इज लोकेटेड वेयर? एनीबडी? It forms the oral diaphragm. ये जो region है oral cavity के नीचे जो oral diaphragm है, it is formed by the two mylohyoid muscles. So mylohyoid, anterior belly of digastric and four muscles of mastication, they all are derived from the first arch. और अभी हम पढ़ेंगे all first arch muscles are supplied by mandibular nerve. So all these muscles will be supplied by mandibular nerve. So that means if you know that these muscles are the derivatives of the first arch, you can easily tell that all these muscles, they will be supplied by mandibular nerve. Now second arch. So muscles of the facial expression, they are derived from the second arch. So what are the muscles of the facial expression? इनको पूछते हैं. हाँ बेटा तुम बताओगे. हाँ ब्लैक शर्ट में. हाँ तुमको ही पूछ रही हूँ. हाँ मसल्स ऑफ द फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन दे आर ग्रुप्ड इनटू 3 पार्ट्स. कौन कौन से हैं? Orbicularis oculi is located around which cavity? Eye or the orbit. So the muscles of the facial expression, they are grouped around the eye, the nasal cavity and the oral cavity, and they are meant for closing or opening these cavities and for facial expressions. तो ये सारी muscles of facial expressions जो हैं, they are supplied by the facial nerve. They are supplied by facial nerve, yes or no? So facial nerve is the nerve of the second arch. So then posterior belly of digastric, stylohyoid and stapedius. क्योंकि अगर तुम इसके bony component अगर तुम याद रखोगे तो styloid process was also derived from the second arch. So similarly stylohyoid muscle and ligament both are derived from second arch, and stapedius muscle and stapes bone is also derived from the second arch. So these are the derivatives of the second arch. Then a single nerve is derived from third arch. Very commonly it is asked as a multiple choice question. There is only a single muscle which is derived from third arch, that is stylopharyngeus. And the nerve of the third arch is glossopharyngeal nerve. Remember one thing, glossopharyngeal nerve in the human body, it supplies only a single muscle, and that muscle is stylopharyngeus. So glossopharyngeal nerve, it is a mixed nerve. It has got a sensory component also. Sensations लेकर जाती है और भी जगह से. But if somebody asks कि कौन सा muscle supply होता है, so there is only a single muscle, and that is stylopharyngeus, which is connecting the styloid process with the pharynx. So stylopharyngeus. Then fourth arch muscles, because fourth and sixth arch, they were meant for the development of the larynx and also of the muscles of the pharynx. So fourth arch, the three constrictors of the pharynx, the superior, middle and inferior, they are derived from the fourth arch muscles, and they are derived from fourth arch. Then cricothyroid and levator vellae palatini, there are two muscles in the palate, the tensor vellae palatini and the levator vellae palatini. So levator vellae palatini is derived from fourth arch. And sixth arch, it gives rise to all the intrinsic muscles of the larynx except the cricothyroid muscle, because cricothyroid is derived from the fourth arch. लैरिंग्स के सारे मसल्स अभी तुम पढ़ोगे, जब तुम्हारा लैरिंग्स का चैप्टर होगा, जब फैरिंग्स पढ़ोगे, देयर विल बी ऑल कंस्ट्रिक्टर्स ऑफ द फैरिंग्स. So fourth arch, the nerve of the fourth arch is superior laryngeal nerve. The nerve of the sixth arch is recurrent laryngeal nerve. So these are the things which are derived from fourth arch and the sixth arch. Now coming to the nerve component of each arch, जो हमने individually discuss कर लिया है. So they are derived from hindbrain vesicle, and they are mixed motor and sensory nerve. Every nerve has got a pre-traumatic branch and a post-traumatic branch. So these are the nerves of the pharyngeal arches. ये just note down this table. मैंने कहा ना, कुछ जो तुम एग्जाम के क्वेश्चंस हैं वो बस यहीं से तुम आंसर कर सकते हो इस कॉपी को देख के. तो बस just note down कि what are the nerves of different pharyngeal arches. So first arch nerve is the mandibular nerve. Mandibular nerve is the branch of trigeminal nerve. There are three divisions of trigeminal. So mandibular nerve and chorda tympani nerve also, it goes through the first arch, but it is a branch from the facial nerve. So mandibular nerve, chorda tympani. And then अगर एक ही option available हो कि what is the nerve of the first arch, so that is the mandibular nerve. Just don't think about the chorda tympani. Then second arch nerve is the facial nerve, third arch nerve is the glossopharyngeal, fourth arch nerve is the superior laryngeal nerve, and sixth arch nerve is the recurrent laryngeal nerve. Both superior laryngeal and recurrent laryngeal nerves are the branches of which cranial nerve? Anybody? superior laryngeal nerve and recurrent laryngeal nerves, they are branches of which cranial nerve? Anybody? Vagus nerve. Both these are the branches of the vagus nerve. So fourth and sixth. Now can you correlate the things? अब जितने लोग सुन रहे थे पिछला स्लाइड वो मुझे बता सकते हैं. रिकरेंट बेटा, हाँ, रिकरेंट लेरेंजियल नर्व कौन से रीजन के मसल्स को सप्लाई करेगी? मतलब सिक्स्थ आर्च से क्या डेवलप हो रहा है? हाँ, सिक्स्थ आर्च से क्या डेवलप हो रहा है? हाँ, intrinsic muscles of larynx. So all intrinsic muscles of the larynx, they are supplied by which nerve? Recurrent laryngeal nerve, except cricothyroid, because that is supplied by superior laryngeal nerve, because it is developing from the fourth arch. So fourth arch से बेटा क्या डेवलप हो रहा है? हाँ, फोर्थ आर्च से क्या डेवलप हो रहा है? फेरिंग्स के कार्टिलेज नहीं है, फेरिंग्स एक मस्कुलर ट्यूब है, लैरिंग्स कार्टिलेजिनस है. यहाँ पे हाथ लगा के देखो, थायराइड, एडम्स एप्पल, सबको पता है कितना थिक लगता है, बिकॉज लैरिंग्स इज कार्टिलेजिनस, फेरिंग्स इज मस्कुलर. सो देयर आर थ्री मसल्स इन द फेरिंग्स. व्हाट आर दे? सुपीरियर कंस्ट्रिक्टर, मिडिल कंस्ट्रिक्टर एंड इंफीरियर कंस्ट्रिक्टर, एंड दे आर सप्लाइड बाय विच नर्व? सुपीरियर laryngeal nerve. तो जब तुम्हारा लेक्चर होगा, sit down both of you, you can correlate this thing. Third, only a single muscle develops from the third arch, stylopharyngeus, and that is supplied by which nerve? Glossopharyngeal nerve. Very commonly asked as MCQ, glossopharyngeal only supplies a single muscle in the body, and that is stylopharyngeus. Now coming to a different thing, that is the pharyngeal arch arteries. अब हर आर्च के पास में एक एक नर्व है, एक आर्टरी है और मसल्स हैं. What are the arteries of the head and neck region, from where they have come? क्या क्या आर्टरीज हैं? इंटरनल कैरोटिड के पहले, इंटरनल कैरोटिड तो ब्रेन में जाके सप्लाई करेगा, नेक और फेस का क्या होगा? That is external carotid, and both internal and external carotid are derived from common carotid. So we have to think about the development of the common carotid arteries, the internal carotid artery and the external carotid artery. So each arch has got a single artery. वो अभी बस ये याद कर लो कि कौन सी आर्टरी क्या बना रही है. This is a very common diagram जो हम तुमसे पूछते रहते हैं कि what are the branches of the arch of aorta. तो what are the branches of arch of aorta? हाँ बेटा, last bench में. हाँ. What are the branches of arch of aorta? Brachiocephalic trunk, left common carotid, left subclavian, and brachiocephalic trunk divides into राइट सबक्लेवियन एंड राइट कॉमन कैरोटिड. तो अब ये देख लेते हैं कि इसमें से फर्स्ट आर्च से कौन सी आर्टरी आ रही है और सेकेंड आर्च से, गुड, सिट डाउन. तो वो और सेकेंड आर्च से कौन सी आर्टरीज आ रही हैं. ये जो डायग्राम है ये तुम तब ज्यादा समझ पाओगे व्हेन वी विल बी डूइंग दी सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम. यहाँ पे क्या दिखाया है? देयर आर टू डॉर्सल एओर्टा एंड दीज टू डॉर्सल एओर्टा दे आर कनेक्टेड टू दी हार्ट. हार्ट से क्या, what is arising from the left ventricle? Which vessel? Aorta. Ascending aorta arises from the left ventricle, and truncus arteriosus is something from which aorta develops. So that means aorta and pulmonary artery both develop. ये जो दोनों दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पे, these are the two dorsal aorta, and a portion, and this portion is connecting the aorta with the left ventricle. Development के टाइम अभी कितना aorta है? सिर्फ एक ही है, which is arising from the left ventricle. But at the time of development कितने aorta है? Right और left. फिर ये combine होके one हो जाएंगे. ये सब हम कब पढ़ेंगे? Circulatory system में. अभी सिर्फ ये arch arteries की position समझ लो. These arch arteries, these 6 arch arteries, they are passing through the pharyngeal arches and they are connecting the dorsal aorta with the truncus arteriosus. This truncus arteriosus, we would say it is a continuation from the left ventricle. नहीं भी याद रहे कोई बात नहीं, तुम्हें जो अभी लिखना है वो ये है कि फर्स्ट एओर्टिक आर्च की आर्टरी कौन सी है? इट गिव्स राइज टू अ पार्ट ऑफ मैक्सिलरी आर्टरी. मैक्सिलरी आर्टरी इज अ ब्रांच ऑफ नर्व नहीं, आर्टरी पूछ रही हूँ. मैक्सिलरी आर्टरी इज अ ब्रांच ऑफ, अरे फेस और नेक पे या तो इंटरनल कैरोटिड है या एक्सटर्नल है. एक्सटर्नल कैरोटिड. देयर आर टू टर्मिनल ब्रांचेस ऑफ द एक्सटर्नल कैरोटिड आर्टरी. व्हाट आर दे? मैक्सिलरी एंड सुपरफिशियल टेम्पोरल. तो मैक्सिलरी फर्स्ट आर्च मैंडिबुलर या मैक्सिलर से ही लिंक्ड होगी. तो फर्स्ट आर्च जो है, फर्स्ट एओर्टिक आर्च, इट गिव्स राइज टू अ पार्ट ऑफ मैक्सिलरी आर्टरी. सेकेंड एओर्टिक आर्च, its dorsal part forms a part of the stapedial artery. Stapedial artery is a branch from the facial artery. Facial artery which goes on face, it gives a branch, the stapedial artery. Then third aortic arch, it forms the common carotid artery and a stem of internal carotid artery. ये तो तुम्हें लिखना ही, मतलब बस याद ही करना है कि फर्स्ट आर्च क्या बना रही है? मैक्सिलरी आर्टरी. सेकेंड क्या बना रही है? स्टेपीडियल आर्टरी. और थर्ड क्या बना रही है? कॉमन कैरोटिड एंड अ पार्ट ऑफ इंटरनल कैरोटिड. Then fourth aortic arch on the right side, it forms a part of right subclavian artery, and on the left side it forms a part of arch of aorta. So if somebody asks, arch of aorta develops from, because that is most common, so it develops from the left fourth aortic arch. राइट साइड में एओर्टा नहीं है. राइट एओर्टिक आर्च वो परसिस्ट, वो बनेगा. कई बार ये कंजेनाइटल एनोमली है डबल एओर्टिक आर्च, लेकिन हमारे पास कितनी एओर्टिक आर्चेस है? सिंगल. एंड दैट इज लोकेटेड ऑन दी लेफ्ट साइड. So left fourth aortic arch, it gives rise to arch of aorta. ये सबको याद रखना है. इसका काउंटर पार्ट जो है right fourth aortic arch, it forms right subclavian artery. Then sixth arch, it forms, कुछ नहीं याद रखे तो बस ये रखिए कि right pulmonary artery and left pulmonary artery. So right and left pulmonary artery, they are derived from sixth arch. ठीक है. And on the left side, the dorsal part of the sixth arch, it persists as ductus arteriosus and ligamentum arteriosus after birth. So if somebody asks, ligamentum arteriosum is derived from, it is derived from the sixth arch. So there are 6 aortic arches, fifth one disappears. ये मैंने टर्म क्या यूज किया? फेरिंजियल आर्चेस नहीं है, ये क्या है? एओर्टिक आर्चेस हैं. Aortic arches are passing through the pharyngeal arches, and aortic arches are giving rise to the arteries of the head and neck region. Just have a look. First aortic arch, it forms a part of maxillary artery. Second aortic arch, it forms a part of stapedial artery. Then third aortic arch is for common carotid and internal carotid. Fourth one is for the arch of aorta on the left side and right subclavian artery on the right side. And sixth arch, it forms the right pulmonary and the left pulmonary artery. Both right and left pulmonary arteries, they are the branches of pulmonary trunk. So pulmonary trunk, it is dividing into right and left. So pulmonary trunk actually it is derived from truncus arteriosus. वो हम देखेंगे. These are the congenital anomalies, the coarctation of aorta. Coarctation is the narrowing of aorta. So there can be a preductal coarctation and postductal coarctation. हम fetal circulation में पढ़ लेंगे preductal क्या है, postductal क्या है. एक चीज याद रखो, coarctation can occur in the aorta right from its beginning till its end. कहाँ से शुरू हो रही है aorta? लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल से. और कहाँ एंड हो रही है? एब्डोमेन नहीं पढ़ा है. इट इज एंडिंग इन द एट द L4 लेवल into two common iliac arteries, है ना, external iliac and internal iliac. तो जहां से ये बनी है, that means right from the left ventricle till its end, that means in the abdominal region, coarctation can occur anywhere, and it can like the symptoms can manifest in the later life also. अभी एक यहाँ पे अपनी हॉस्पिटल में एक केस आया था, 25 years old hypertensive male, और उसमें डायग्नोज नहीं कॉज हो रहा था कि why there is hypertension, so there was coarctation, though it was minimal, और that is why he was able to survive till 25 years. बहुत कम नैरोइंग थी. तो अगर मान लो coarctation हो जाएगा तो सिम्टम्स सोच सकते हो. ब्लड प्रेशर कहाँ लो होगा, अपर एक्सट्रीमिटी में या लोअर एक्सट्रीमिटी में? लोअर एक्सट्रीमिटी में, क्योंकि अपर में फिर भी सबक्लेवियन और इसके थ्रू जा रहा था. लोअर देयर वाज अ ह्यूज गैप इन द ब्लड प्रेशर. इन द अपर एक्सट्रीमिटी इट वाज नॉर्मल और हायर, एंड इन द लोअर एक्सट्रीमिटी इट वाज क्वाइट लोअर. तो ये जो इसको रेडियो फीमोरल डिले बोलते हैं, इस गैप की वजह से इट वाज डायग्नोज दैट इट वाज कोआक्टेशन ऑफ एओर्टा. ये प्री डक्टल पोस्ट डक्टल क्या है ये हम डिस्कस करेंगे जब फीटल सर्कुलेशन पढ़ेंगे. ठीक है. देन देयर कैन बी डबल आर्च ऑफ एओर्टा ऑल्सो. दोनों साइड अगर राइट आर्च भी परसिस्ट कर गई तो देयर कैन बी टू आर्चेस ऑफ एओर्टा. सो देयर कैन बी राइट आर्च ऑफ एओर्टा ऑल्सो. इट कैन कॉज रेट्रोइसोफेजियल कंप्रेशन एंड इट कैन नॉट कॉज कंप्रेशन. दो टाइप का हो सकता है. Then there are ectodermal derivatives and endodermal derivatives, which we will do in the next class.